ahead and jump in. This is the West End video. So we start off, like many videos do, with the team captains of the game running, or not running, but walking towards the enemy team. It just is a great opportunity to have some good slow motion shots of some of our best players. So if you notice anything about this video, I hope you would notice that it's a little bit more bright and saturated. And the reason I did that was this game was really offensively dominant. We scored like 52 points or something, 57, I don't know. Basically, we scored a lot of points, and I wanted to show that in this video, so I have a lot of shots of us just crossing into the end zone, which albeit may not be super exciting, but I thought were important to include in the video. Another reason is that the Patriots, the West End Patriots that we were playing, their uniforms are super bright. And I figured that adds some interesting contrast to have this really saturated blue and all these saturated reds clashing together. I thought it'd look pretty cool. I don't know if it's after John Ross's hit or not. No, it's so like you can see like this so bright blue, and the darks are super dark. This is called crushing the blacks in cinematography terms. It's a movie term. When you crush the blacks, you make the blacks really, really dark, and everything else kind of pops because of its super high contrast and really high saturation. Just makes this stuff kind of pop and look really good. And this was a close-up shot in slow motion. The slow motion shots, you can tell they're slow motion because they're kind of less saturated and a little grainy, but obviously there's a smooth slow motion. So the effect isn't as prominent there, but in these shots where the action is happening, you know, it's like bright and saturated and blue and looks cool. So this song, the song I used for this video, I knew beforehand. I think it's I can't remember the name of it, but it's by a guy named Carpenter Brew, who makes this really exciting electronic, loud music that is really good for this type of stuff. He has some good other songs that I know, but yeah, so this made for a really, since this game was so exciting offensively, defensively it was kind of, you know, whatever. We had some good plays, but our secondary was kind of whack. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was such an exciting offensive game. I figured to make it an exciting offensive video. And you'll figure it out as you look a little deeper into the videos as you watch on your own, that some videos are more themed towards defense. I'd say Cleveland is a little bit more defense oriented, and some are more offense, and some are a mix. And that really just comes down to how many good shots of offense or defense I had. You know, this game was full of offensive, you know, plays, and Cleveland was kind of a slow scoring game, but it had some great defensive plays. You know, interceptions and sacks, and you know, we didn't score that much, but it was a really exciting game nonetheless. And same goes for Ohatchee. We didn't have too many plays that were super exciting on both ends, so that was a little hard. And I'll get into Ohatchee in the next video, but that was probably one of the hardest videos to make, was Ohatchee. But let's just go ahead and get in this video. Some great slow motion shots. You can tell it's slow motion because it's blurry, but again, crushing the blacks. It's nighttime and everything is super dark and contrasty. You can't even tell it says WCS. You just see the CS, and I really liked that. And some of my favorite shots came from this slow motion period during halftime. Halftime is a really good time to try and get some creative slow motion shots. So literally, for this shot, you can see the grass. I think I took the camera and rotated it on the tripod and just stuck it, you know, leaned it on the ground and up towards the players. Try to get this cool towering shot, make the guys look really big. And I think it worked out. I have a great shot of Luttrell later on where the lights are all behind Luttrell, and you'll see it in a bit, but the lights are all behind Luttrell, and you just see his outline. You see like how crazy massive he is because I'm like below. It's really cool. I don't know. It's just cool look. Might be here. Yeah, right here. Yeah, the spotlight is behind him, so you just see, because it's such high contrast, you just see this menacing figure walking towards you as the other guys walk the other way, stretching, and that's a great shot. I love that one. And that's PJ pepping guys up, being a leader. Cox throwing a good one. I try to not include, even though I can get some great shots pre-game, I try not to get many shots where the guys aren't in their pads, just because it's just kind of lame. They don't look as cool without the pads on, and they probably agree. And if you notice, these aren't West End guys. These are actually Vinemont, I think. I didn't make a Vinemont video because we lost in pretty, you know, annoying fashion. didn't play too good. But nevertheless, I had some good shots from that video, so I had to use some more supplementary footage from other games, and you might notice that on later on as I combine videos, or if you watch the football banquet intro video, you see a lot of that where I use mix and match. That's a little irrelevant, but I mix and match. I don't know. I'm kind of getting off track, so let's just keep watching. Still warming up. This is one of my favorite shots. This is at the end of the tearjerker video. At the time, I thought it was just kind of cool, putting the helmet down. It's cool, but when I put it in context of graduating, I was like, that's pretty touching shot. Putting down the helmet with the rest of the helmets and walking away. I was like, that's a good shot. And this is one of my favorite things. We got three just total beefcakes right here, just lined up. Cox throws it to John Ross, and John Ross just absolutely demolishes a dude and runs him over. I don't know what the guy was trying to do to tackle him, maybe trip him. He didn't do a good job, obviously, but the fact that it happened 10 yards away from me made this play just so much, better. And right here, see, the guy is stopping. He's stopping. I don't know what he's thinking. He's not going to tackle anybody by stopping. So he just gets demolished by John Ross, and John Ross just runs away with it. Right as the song gets super loud. One thing that I didn't notice until the video played in Pep Rally is that I included the cheering a lot in this, the cheering of the crowd and of the people whoever were behind me. And because it's just a higher frequency noise, it's a little bit louder on speakers. So you heard, it was kind of almost deafening on the Westbrook speakers in the gym. So another thing about Pep Rally technical difficulties with audio, the audio cable or the audio system or whatever basically delayed the video played before the audio did. So I noticed that, and I was like, well, that kind of stinks, because the whole purpose of syncing all this stuff up is so it hits on the beats and it's super cool. So if I play the video in front of the whole crowd and it's a little delayed by half a second, well, that ruins all the effort I put into it. So what I would do later on is I would render out 2 separate videos. And as I said in the last video, rendering takes forever. I would render out one video where the audio matched, how it should. It's, matches with the audio, how I did in the editing bay. And then I have another video that I would give to Chad to play at the pep rallies, where the audio was slightly ahead by half a second. Now, obviously, I didn't keep those because I don't want out of sync videos. But when they would play at the pep rallies, they'd be in sync. About as good as I could have guesstimated it to be. But they're better in sync because of it. So that's just some audio issues I ran into and had to overcome. So I didn't use as much cheering in the videos ahead of this. It's really just to accentuate when a good play happens and everybody gets excited. Like again, I keep mentioning Cleveland. I think Cleveland is the best video I made. There's some moments in Cleveland where the crowd gets, when Luttrell levels a dude, or when Cox gets the interception, or when we score the winning touchdown. It's just that's when it's a good time to use sound, not when it's just a normal play like this, because it just adds a whole lot of sound to it. And when you're playing that on a speaker, it's fine when you're playing it at home, but when you're playing it on a gym speaker at Westbrook Christian School, it sounds terrible. So I learned my lesson and didn't do that. This is just Luttrell getting his usual sacks end of the day. This was kind of hard to see, but it was such a good play. I really wanted to show how good it is. So Luttrell starts on the left side of the line here, and he comes over to the right to block this guy. He's right here. I kind of kept the motion tracking on him a little bit, so he blocks this guy. He just pushes this guy like he weighs nothing out of the way, and this guy is questioning why he's playing football right now, and that just leaves this big old hole for Hunter to run through. And the guys on the sideline notice this, but I really wanted everyone to see this, because it's a great play on both planning and getting an execution, just getting rid of that guy and just opening up that huge hole. So it's an easy touchdown for Hunter. And that was such a good play, I wanted to keep it, and I get this cool celebration by Luttrell and he claps his hands. But I really wanted people to see that because I was like, that was a good play. This is that's Will getting a good sack. And this is another patented play where PJ just doesn't get tackled for too long. And it takes 4 guys to get rid of him. It's hilarious. It's awesome to watch. This is kind of a short play again. Like I said earlier, I put all the touchdowns in this video, so that wasn't a very exciting play, but it was a touchdown. So this is a great play by Brandon. Brandon had some good plays in this game, and I really wanted to include him because, he's a junior, so I wanted to make sure that if someone had a good play that wasn't a senior, I want to include it just so it didn't seem like it was senior showtime, even though, a lot of our good players were, but we had some great junior players this year, which is awesome. I don't know why I'm highlighting this, but again, they called Brandon down at the 1, but it was a touchdown, but they called him down at the 1, so I had to include this boring shot of just, I think it's John Ross just walking in, or Hunter, I don't know. John Ross just running people over. Seriously, I don't know why people think that they can tackle him, like, at his knees. That's just Hunter walking into the end zone. This is a good sack, I think, by Luttrell or Jay Sean. And I can't remember if this is back-to-back, but I knew as soon as I saw this that this was about to be a really good play. As soon as I saw that breakaway where Jay Sean just bolts at this dude, I was like, this is about to be sick. And turns out it was. He gets a great strip, and Jonathan picks up the ball, and we keep it. And we were ahead a lot by this point, but it was just an awesome play. John Ross just showing his athleticism. John Ross, he's a big guy, but he really can run pretty well, so got to show that off. This is my favorite part in the video. The music slows back down and gets quiet, and everything's slow motion, and I love this shot of John Ross where he just is twirling his fingers. It's awesome. And then right here, this is hilarious. I don't know how physics explains this, but Luttrell just moves his hands to the right a little bit, and this young gentleman just goes flying 10 feet. Just watch that. He brushes him off literally, and this guy goes flying. I don't get it. I really don't. Great shots. This upcoming shot is one of my favorite shots of Luttrell. This seems like, of Hunter. This is a great shot of just Hunter just bolting through the action, just looking awesome. This is another shot of Luttrell I love. This probably is turning into just like Luttrell and Cox and Hunter just, gushing, but this is just awesome because it's just like, boom, right there, cut away. You don't get to see how hard he gets tackled. Neither did I because I had to follow the ball, but again, that's a great run by, we'll watch it again, but it's a great run right here by Hunter, just, getting through. A lot of people, or it seemed that, John Ross was the guy that kind of barrels through guys, but really, Hunter had some good plays where he is pushing people along with him. And here's a great sprint and not getting tackled there or getting tripped. Here's another time where I had to edit the music. It kind of fades to the very end. There's about a minute left of the song, but I kind of had to wrap up pretty soon. So I have this where, it's a little celebration by Hunter. And then this part of the video, I wanted to kind of highlight the whole video and kind of get the guys really hyped because we had such a bad game against Vinemont the week prior. I was like, we got to come back from it, and I talk about, power and speed and aggression, just pushing these guys around and control when PJ just, doesn't get tackled, and skill, and really the redemption part, and then the redemption into victory, and then the Westbrook victory was the idea. And then this part at the end, I didn't really know that Ohatchee was really, really good. I thought they were better. I'd heard that they were better than us, but I didn't know that they were number 4 in the state in our division or whatever. But this is what I had planned on happening the next week, was where we just kind of run over Ohatchee. And it was close. I mean, it was one of the best games in Westbrook history, but we'll get to that in the next video. So thanks for watching.